discover. Hey, how you doing today? Wow, today's a triumph day. Today is a day of triumph, trials, failure gone fast, and a day of inspiration. How you been doing? I hope you've been getting ready for the failure gone fast. This is week number 2. I wanted to extend the days only because I had a lot of trials and a lot of interesting ways to motivate you. But I had to go through the trials. In these trials, you may encounter why failure gone fast. Now today we're going to generalize on our financial and our relationship. And how you doing financially? We're going to times where there's definite competition, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be the unknown. But it doesn't mean you cannot succeed. The way to a person's intellectual expectations is where people are coming to attack you. And they attack you in many forms. Financially, they'll try to attack you by assuming that you don't know that there's other avenues to achieving. And on this failure gone fast, I'm going to make sure that this video is in touch with my past videos, so we understand that we're getting where we're talking about beacons and crypto, and even certain businesses that you're forming, and know that most businesses, there's often failure because of the unknown. I had businesses that I'm addressing, and I can see that you're not failing because of you, you're failing because of the unknown. But if you do your research and you continue to be consistent with the business partners that you accumulated, the ones that are helping you to succeed, you can't go wrong whenever failure comes through your door. Failure comes through your door when you're going through financial changes. These financial changes are going to help you build your businesses, going to help you realize changes in your businesses, when I need to do this and when I need to do that. And when you see that what happened last year doesn't happen this year, that's means you've learned through your failure gone fast. And the reason I'm looking back is because I saw a cop car chasing a car that would not stop. Now usually they'll stop. So there's a lot going on, failure gone fast. But it motivated me to make this my spot to speak to you. And I see we have an audience here. But it's gravitating because people want to know, people want to see. And sometimes it could be your competition. So in order for you to allow yourself to get to the next step, to the next intro step, to the next step where you belong, you have to continue to know failure gone fast, failure gone fast. There's always going to be an obstacle. And sometimes the obstacle could be so little, but it can be so big. You see how I moved here? Because I'm trying to keep you intact with me without the obstacle. And see how when you're in the failure gone fast stage, you are allowed to get to a point of understanding. Hold on one second. And in that understanding, you will begin to take note. And as you take note, you will begin to realize the failures are not yours, but it's other people, other businesses. It's not staying intact with other businesses. People want to see you fail. But how could you fail? Let me tell you, this week, I was able to take in and to learn how you can overcome through these obstacles. And it's not you, it's people that see you moving forward. And they will only try to push you backward. But you're moving forward. And you have to stay in that lane. And as you discover the changes and you discover the businesses, no, they cannot hold you back. Because who's ever looking at you, you already have somebody looking at them. But they don't realize that. But soon they will. And then the failure comes fast and the obstacles will disappear. And on that note, I can greatly say that I'm going to make sure I have a length. And in that length, this week, on my Failure Gone Fast, there'll definitely be a code for you to accumulate finance. That's my blessing that I'm giving to you. And it's only because when I see the obstacle, I don't let the obstacle get in my way. But the obstacle will be there. Women, our greatest competition is men. And men don't see a strong woman. And when they see a strong woman, they try to take you down. And that's most men, not all men. I've only deal with businessmen. If you're not about business, I ain't got time for you. Even when you're going through your trials and tribulations, which is only building you. I'm sorry, somebody was just asking me about the time, but they're in their car right now. So each car has a radio or a dashboard that has the time. But it's all good because I'm in the business area and a lot of business is accumulating in this area right now. They're doing business. And that's the achievement in life. And that's what you're going to accumulate. You're going to start to see, because you're in that frame of mind, you're going to attract certain areas that business always seems to be going on. That's the right aura that's around you. Don't worry about what the stages you got to go through to continue to get where you got to be. The aura is around you. That's me. You're in the right direction. But don't be misled, because you can be also misled. And that's staying focused. Even though I was tried to be interrupted, I stood focused with you because it's all about you and me and us getting where we need to be, where we are. We are where we are. We're there. Last year, I know you saved money, and I know I saved. And sometimes the savings is a physical form, which means you can save money or you can have the opportunity to not spend to save money because you're saving money for others. I have that opportunity. The door's there, the door's open. But you keep that positiveness with you because you don't want to lose phase to what's exactly is going on around you in that financial matter. Now, I know we talk about our financial stage. How are you with your partner? How things going? Husbands, have you given your wife a little leadership to doing what she wants? Have you let the strain go? Have you let her make decisions about how she want to do things in her life, whether she wants to run a business? Have you done that? Or whether go to school? Now, I don't know if you're aware, but education is costing us money, debt is costing us money, but it doesn't mean there's answers to help you along the way. And in that note, know that you are guaranteed to move forward. Now, on that note, I'm going to go to express what I mean when I say staying focused. You see me picking up my bag. And this is a very comfortable place. And I wanted to sit with you. Then I wanted to walk with you. Because this is an area that was a part of my life. One of my colleges is right up the way that I went to. And this is a baseball field, where there's plenty of places that many of us derived from and came. And when people see that, they like to try to get in the way. But it's very important that you stay focused. I enjoy it. Like I say, it's green grass. Keep motivated, keep going. Allow yourself and your family to grow. Allow your children to grow. Allow your wife to grow. You know, there's a lot of young people that are judging older people with knowledge, judging their parents. And the reason why I tell you to allow your children to grow, because your children can soon judge you. But a lot don't know, you learn from the wise. And a lot of us had to go through, because the same enemy that came to try to take you down is the same enemy that came to try to take your children down. But you had to deal with that enemy. You survived that enemy, that your children is also able to survive. But you had to learn. If you didn't learn how to survive, you wouldn't have been able to save your children. So as we continue to prosper, and I know you've prospered, and I know you made ways to make life better for you, make life better for your wife, make life better for your girlfriend, make life better for the future person that you have. What I hate to see is when people have control of the person that they're with, or the person they want to be with, without letting them be at free will to be in a relationship. Because when I'm at free will, that's mean it's a decision, it's a good decision, and you're allowing me to be me. You're allowing me to grow. And that's very important on that free will. And as we continue to move forward in our failure gone fast, are you checking on your children, not just what you've accomplished, and making sure that you're giving them the tools, making sure they have the computer, making sure they have the books, making sure they know which website. And also there are children that teaches us when they go to school. If you don't go to school, they go to high school, they learn something new, and you can exchange knowledge through this failure going fast. You can make it where everybody's learning, because the family has to survive. Whether you're close or you're apart, the family must survive. Do you understand? And sometimes you have to separate, because if you're together, all is an attack at one time. But if you're separated, you have to deal with each one. But you built a seed, a strength already. And you don't let nobody get in between that strength, even at critical times. Whether you have to give them more knowledge on how they can survive. And usually it's through your experience. So when I see young children talking about old people, and they said, oh, my parent never did this for me, and my parent never did that for you, because you don't know what your parent had to go through. Maybe they had to leave the situation so you can survive. It's like that sometimes. And you have to be of understanding, because if you're not, you're going to suffer the same thing through your next generation. Your children ain't going to understand you because you're already doubting and not trying to find out why these things happen. It's better that Dad left and went to the military so that I could survive than it's better that Dad had left a situation that wasn't good for the children, because Mom and Dad will argue all the time. But you're so busy looking at what the other parent said, you really don't know what's going on. You don't even know whether Mom or Dad told you the truth about the other parent. And the only way you can get that answer is if they be mature and sit down and let you know. So you don't have no grudges. But have you given them the opportunity? No. Because why? Because you said you let failure gone fast jump in the way, and you say, no, I'm going to fail to give them the chance to explain themselves. Because you don't know the situation. It could have been a situation that they had to get away because it was deadly for you. Not that they were bad, but the enemy is that powerful sometimes. So in this failure gone fast, and able for you to survive, you have to let what is in the past go. And to give an opportunity for growth, for learning, for reassuring. So that when your generation rise, the failure gone fast can be a better, stable point in your life. Because I now understand what my parents had to go through. I now understand why Dad had to leave, why Mom had to go. Sometimes it's not meant for people to be together that they know they ain't supposed to be together. Or whatever happened in the past, who to say that it won't happen in your generation. But it does happen. So on this failure gone fast, you're going to have to be enlightened by change. Like I have to change right now. You're going to have to be enlightened when things suddenly come your way. What direction you going to go? I'm going in a different direction. But I'm not trying to take down what built me. Because one thing they did give you was life. And there's something in you that you got a part of each one. And you got to figure out which is the good part. That's what you're supposed to do. People always looking at the bad side. But what about the good part? There had to have been something good. And the good was having you. Reassure yourself. Don't let society's ills of repeated blaming the other person without even knowing what the blame is. If you don't give them the opportunity, failure gone fast, so I suffer, so I blame everyone. But you're in the same position they're in. You're trying to survive. Failure gone fast on that financial matter. You're in the same position. Many times you walk in the same area or the same door a person may come. Your situation is different because you're building yourself. And when you build yourself, you make changes that build other people, which mean the people in your past. You got to go back and you got to recorrect what wasn't corrected in order to correct your future with your next generation. And on that, financially, you have gained because you allowed them to grow financial change, different jobs, different directions, not the same job. Many of you probably be like me. You work in the health field, you work in the restaurant field, you work in different fields, and even try to start your own business. But it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing. What it means that you're going through the trials and tribulations because you're trying, you're not giving up. That's part of failure going fast. I'm not going to give up. I know times are hard, but there gotta be an open door. If there's an open door for you, there's an open door for me. Without judgmental calls. And then we go along what? We go along with our relationships. And that's what we get into next, the relationship. If I allow you to grow financially, it builds our relationship. Because now we can take each other to a different level. That car you wanted, we can get it together. That house you wanted, we can get it together. Or when your children go through and they hear about their grandparents or things that happen in their family, there's something positive I know you can dig out. Because you don't know your generation, how they're going to feel about you. Children are not acceptive to aging. Their whole life meaning has changed. So it is up to you to allow them to see the good in each person, because there is a good in each person. And there's a reason and a season for change. But you can't even touch that because you won't allow yourself to touch it. And just as I was beginning to present myself and somebody came and they started to talk, because I knew already, you think I'm judging you. I'm not judging you, but I'm on a path. And whether my path may seem like I'm on the same walk as you, my path is totally different than you. And I'm not going to allow you to get in the way of this failure going fast. Now, I did a video, and I think I left it up there right under this one, where I was granted an opportunity to receive extensive income that would help me on a financial growth. And that's what I'm going to give you in our next video, after the other video of learning how to do crypto through certain apps and how to send money through certain apps and what is going on and change. Now, one thing that has changed is that one app is open to 2 other apps that people thought would never happen. And I don't want to mention that. That's going to be on my next video. But that's how I could prove to you how change happens. So if it happened for the business people, it can happen for family. But are you allowing it? See, the business person is going to allow it to happen because they got to succeed. But are you allowing your family to succeed? Are you? Because whatever is positive is going to make you what? It's going to build you up. But if I keep on the negative tip, then I will never build up what's in my next generation. Because every child has a way of feeling about their grandparents, about their parents. And everybody knows there's not perfection, but there's a way to perfection. Even if they tried, but wow, this happened. That's when they have failures themselves, financial failure, relationship failures. Guess what? They won't all the time meditate on what happened in their past with their parents and their grandparents, but they meditate on what they want best for you all, but not to keep them out their life, because they learned something through your past. And your past is that you made it. You're alive. Regardless of the situation, they survived. And a lot of people don't survive. A lot of people don't make it from A to B. Whether it's financial, whether it's by relationship. But the only way to get there is that you have to start understanding people. You have to start by understanding your own walk and understanding your generational curses. And a lot of us have generational curses, curses that follow the family over and over and over again. Like in my family, I had the next generation went to high school. I went to high school and college. I was the first in my family, my generation. And I had others that went to high school, but then they went back, and they went to college. But I was the first. But their children went before them, went back to college. You know what I'm saying? Went to college before they went to. So it didn't mean that their failure in life stopped the children from going. They already instilled in their children, I want better for you. And yet the children did not judge them, even though they went through the obstacles. So that what holds the family together. That what holds the relationship together, because I'm not looking at your failures, but I'm looking at your good. Because there's some good to everyone that surpass the failures. But are you looking at it? There's a good right now. When I was almost interrupted, I could have let that, backslide me down to say, no, I'm not going to do this video. But I already knew that whenever you're doing something that is moving, something that is live, something that's going to make change, there's always going to be somebody trying to be in it. I look at other YouTube videos and I realize the same way, unless I'm in an isolated room. And sometimes you could be in an isolated room and they're looking at you. Or they're finding a way to make noise. Or you're in your house, they're looking through the windows. Because when you accumulate change, and when you're going through change, guess what? The change is having eyes on you. And when your eyes are on you, because you are becoming of interest. But what is the interest that you're becoming of? Now, in this failure gone fast, I want to make sure that you get with your Robin Hood, get with your Cash App, get with the details of knowing how to move crypto back and forth, teaching your children. And in that note, I want you to understand we're in this together. I can't do it alone. Whatever I go through, I'm not going to do it alone. I'm not going to let the enemy suppress me. I'm not going to let the enemy put me in a depressive state. And they will try. And you must know that it is you. It is you. You have the answer and you have the keys to it all. And the keys can be taken away that quickly if you allow failure to go fast to not succeed. Now, I'm walking, but I'm walking to receive and to give more information. But this has been a blissful time. And I'm going to teach you how to talk differently so the enemy cannot dissect where you're trying to go. That's a new way. The enemy won't know your every step. That's a new way. Failure gone fast. Get the enemy out the way so you continue to move. So you continue to move others in a direction that is positive. And you continue to receive from others, because I can't do it alone. I'm not doing it alone. And I'm still going out there reaching families and friends, but I may deal with them differently. Because regardless of the fact, you never know how you're going to enable your children through this financial failure going fast. Financial matters do break children down. They want a bike. They want a car. They can't get it. Their attitude change. They start hanging with the wrong people to get the money fast. So it is you who have to learn to, as I call it, closing the door, closing my chapter. Whether it's once hello, how you doing, or hello on Facebook, how you doing. Sometimes some of our lives are like that with our family, or on another streaming thing where we see they're doing their things, doing their business, and a competitive family is a good family because it keeps the family motivated. It keeps the family wanting to do better, wanting to do more. Just like I was at a place and I couldn't believe, if you can see, I had to take a shot. And I was like, this is interesting. But the way the government has things moving, that you have to be careful of the places you go, the medical doctors that you go to, and always get a second opinion. And when I say I want a second opinion, I mean a second opinion to, oh, I'm happy that I was able to do good and not derived as doing what I'm not supposed to do, and able to get things and make things happen. Like a lot of you people go out there and donate. A lot of you people go out there, and that's why half the time we have these band-aids on us, because we have to, make sure there is provision for most of you. That's what you'll do. You'll go out there and you'll find a way to bring money in. And you find a way, whether you go to a daily labor place, you're finding a way to bring money in while you're bringing in, building your other income. Don't just sit there and not allow the universe in a way to release the finances to you, then it be stressful, worrying about the past. That can keep you down. Or worry about what's going on in front of you, then worry about where you want to be and where you need to be, where you want your children to be. And regardless of the changes that may come before you. Ooh, it's hot out here. And I'm walking, and I could actually get on a bus right now if I want to. That's another way of savings for me. It depends on how far I gotta go, whether I want to get on the bus. And I'm exercising at the same time. Walking is good for the heart. It's very strong to build your heart. And a lot of people don't see that or understand that, but it is. So on that note, I think I explained in our Failure Gone Fast about family, about financial, about relationship. If you're by yourself is the only thing I haven't truly explained, but I'm explaining it to you because by yourself is me. I'm solo, and I'm doing it by myself. And I still reach my family. I still try to bring positiveness. And sometimes you got to be reluctant to allowing everybody else to know what's going on. Because competition also comes with competition with families. Whether my family first, your family second. And on that note, I want you to extensively think about what I said, what I told you. There's business going on around me all the time. I know I'm in the right aura. I know I'm in the right place. The college I went to was right down the way, and a couple of people went after me. But I went first. And I dedicate that to a lady that told me, which I already knew, because she didn't know I was in college already. She said, you gotta go better yourself. But I've been had college in New York, extensive college, before I got here. But I allow her to express herself. Sometimes you gotta allow people to express themselves without correcting them. Do you understand? When you allow people to express themselves without correcting them, you allow them to boast themselves up. And it's not that they're right or wrong. You're right. Why? Because you know the failure has gone fast a long time ago. It's now dealing with showing the next generation. And people are going to try to divide, but let the diversity go, because sooner or later they're going to see when you survive, and that's going to help them survive. And on that note, failure gone fast is a good thing. It's a positive thing. And when you go through trials and tribulations and you see that you had an abundance, and abundance is taken away from you because it had to been taken away, because I'm about to release more abundance to you. But first you have to see what, where, why, what again, to why and where it was taken away. And once you begin to see that, you can begin to what? See the obstacles like I showed the obstacles, and know that you're well on your way to making sure failure going fast. Now go out there and BS and discuss.